Very God. Very God. Ein malam din divrei Torah elo l'tamid hagin no b'masav. This first halacha, the Rambam, is everybody on this screen right here. You're only supposed to teach Torah to an appropriate Talmud who is beautiful in their actions. No'eh b'masav. Olatam, or to a simpleton, somebody who is less knowledgeable but good-hearted. Good-hearted. But if somebody's not acting properly, then it could be that directly starting to teach them Torah might not work. Maybe it'll have a negative effect. Just like going into going onto the street and start talking about Shor Shanagach as a para is probably not the best thing to do. Uninspired youths. First, bring him back a little. And put him on the right path. Both can also. Don't make him sit in the base medrash unless they're ready for it. They're ready for it. You have to know. And then you teach them. If we teach to a student who is inappropriate, meaning somebody who's going to try to abuse or misuse Torah, so then it's like throwing a stone to Markolis. What does that mean? That's like they used to do to Avodah Zarah. They threw stones at it. What's that comparison? Not for now. That's mitzad the Talmud. Then mitzad the Rav. Let's say somebody is a super amazing Talmud Chacham, but he doesn't act properly. He's not such a great tzaddik. He's a great Talmud Chacham. He gives amazing shiurim, but his midos aren't so great. Even though he's a great rabbi, he's very smart. Don't learn from him until he comes back. That's the Gemara. It's like a malach. We mentioned this, by the way, last Wednesday night. He's like a malach, then you can learn Torah from him. Right? We did a famous Gemara earlier in the year. The Gemara quotes this and asks, how did Rabbi Meir learn from Acher? Elisha ben Avuya was on a donkey and Rabbi Meir was walking after him, learning Torah from him. So the Gemara says, how did he do it? All right, so that is really a big sugya. But again, one has to be very careful about the midos of a rabbi because it's not just the Torah that one learns, but it's the midos that one is involved in. That's part of the definition of being a rav. Not just the Torah that's being given over, but it's the example that one sets. The example that one sets. Yeah,
Avram. What sort of kavod does a person have to give to a Talmud Chacham who's not proper? Like the same kavod one would give to a rabbi? I mean, if it's a rabbi who knows a lot of Torah but isn't acting appropriately, then what level of...
If it doesn't hurt me, if it doesn't bother me to give him kavod, I shouldn't have learned from him, the Gemara says. That could be a warped sense of Torah. If it's a Torah that's not based on midos and yirat shamayim, they could based on other things. But in terms of kavod, it won't hurt to give somebody kavod. Again, I should say this. Sometimes it gets a little tricky. Because let's say there's somebody, Rahman al-Islan, I remember I had this story a number of years ago in a different shul. A rabbi walked into the shul who was a tremendous Talmud Chacham, but he was involved in a scandal. And there was a major, how do you deal with that? Do you give him an aliyah? Do you not give him an aliyah? But we didn't. They asked me at the time. Because there's an idea of giving kavod. It could be, you have to give kavod, but not give kavod in a way that might affect people's thoughts of kavod. People might think it's a lack of kavod. It's hard to give him kavod. I would say on a personal level, give people kavod. Yeah, give anybody kavod you want. But sometimes there's a larger scale idea that one has to be aware of. And it's tricky in this regard, especially in a time period where we live in a it's the word is a very powerful tool. Could be in the olden days, you could like insult somebody, and that's it. Only the people around heard the insult. It's an unbelievable power today. Somebody could write something, type something, send it out to like thousands of people, and ruin somebody's reputation in a second, even if it's totally made up. Rahman al-Islam, right? Once a reputation, you can make up the whole thing. Like it's farce. But again, it's to recognize the power that one has with words, and recognize the how careful we have to be. Okay. Good. So that's the Rambam for the day, and then we'll talk about the next halacha as of tomorrow. Ketzad Malamdin. That is one thing. Okay, we'll get into that. Let us get into the new sugya. Which is where's my Gemara? Which is really the last source. If you remember, I said the last source in the previous sugya is going to be the first source in our sugya. If I could find my Basra, that would be amazing. None of you could really help me about this. I just have a lot of svarim around here because I was just preparing the next sugya. 1 second. I got it. Okay, here we go. So what we were just talking about, at the end of the sugya, Kuf Chav Zayin Beis. Kuf Chav Zayin Beis is a jam-packed daf. In the emunah of the Father, that's what we finished, or at least for now we finished. Now we're starting a new topic, and then there's going to be another topic on this Amud, a couple of lines from now, where it says the word goses. That's going to be the next topic that we'll do, about the status of someone who is a goses, Rahman al-Islam. But before that, we got into the Ritva. So somebody remind me, what did the Ritva say? The Ritva asked the Kasha, father's belief to say that this is my son, he is a Bachor, and he is a Ben Gerusha. He is a Ben Chalutza. He is a Mamzer. He has that status. Ask the Ritva. Naftali, you're shaking your head. Ask the Ritva. What does the Ritva say? My son's...
How can he make himself a Russia?
How can he make himself a Russia?
By saying he's a Ben Grusha, he's saying he married a Grusha.
Basically, a Ben Gerusha is saying that he's a Kohen and he married a Grusha. And his son is a Cholo. He's saying that he did something wrong. So how is he allowed to do that? We say that wrong. Ein adam mשים עצמו Russia. A person can't make themselves, can't passel themselves. Other people can passel you, right? If they're Adim, they can say you did something wrong, but you can't passel yourself. So the question is, why are you allowed here? So the Ritva has 3 answers. Ritva has 3 answers. What are the first 2 answers? We discussed the first 2 already. The first 2 answers. Number 1, as he believed, because he really doesn't say he did anything wrong. He was a shogeg. He didn't know. Right? He didn't know. Maybe he was a Baal Tshuva, and he didn't know that a Kohen can't marry a Grusha. Maybe they were married before, they were from. That's a tragic case. Bali Tshuva who are married, who become from, and what if he was a Grusha and he's a Kohen? That's a tough situation. That's a very tough situation. I remember I had a case once where years and years ago, somebody in my shul came over. They had a good friend, Kohen, who was going out with a Giores. Giores is also a sort to a Kohen. But she converted when she was 2 years old. Her parents converted her when she was 2 years old. So does that help? So there is a daya in the Tanoim that helps. We don't pass on like that daya. So that's a little tricky. But again, you got they were just going out. I was trying to say that you can't really just pick a cheat in the Tanoim and go with it. But that's the halacha. So he's a shogeg. Fine, meaning he didn't do anything wrong. Number 1. Number 2, second answer of the Ritva. Deretz HaKasiv. It works. The base of Russia, exception to the rule. This is an exception to the rule of Ein Adam Mשים עצמו Russia. Number 2. Overrides. The emunah of Yakir overrides Ein Adam Mשים. Those are the first 2 days. So we said already, what are these 2 days about? What are they arguing about? So they might be arguing about Nemanis Habal, Nemanis Ha'av, meaning is it just like an Eidos type of idea? And that would be approach one. It's an Eidos type of idea. You can't make yourself puzzles. Therefore, it must be, he said, Shogeg. But if it's not Eidos, it's a unique Nemanis. It's a power for the Bailim. So maybe that could be a rule breaker. Included in that is that you could be believed even in this case. Or that was the last sugya. Or maybe not. Maybe whenever you have a machlokas like this that crosses two sugyas, you always have to ask, are they arguing about A or B? This is a discussion about Ne'emonah Ta'av, and it's a discussion about Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. The two is here that overlap its riba. So we go about it from both points of view. Is it about Ne'emonah Ta'av, or maybe it's a question about how to understand the principle of Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. So we will get into that, B'ez Hashem, in a minute. Various understandings of Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. But before that, let's do the third answer of the Ritva. The Ritva gives a third idea. What's the third idea? Says the Ritva, Ve'ulai she'eino ne'eman al atzmo depalginan diburei. He said he did it b'meisid. He still believed about his son. Because literally we split the ne'emanis. We split his words. Big sugya, which we're going to touch on, which we're not going to really fully do, palginan dibura. Sometimes we could create a fiction in halacha. We can listen to the truth, but not the whole truth. We dafka know what you said, and we are going to ignore part of what you said. Here he says, I am a Kohen, I married a Grusha, and my son's a Chalal. You know what we're going to say? We're not going to believe you on that first word about I. We're just going to believe you that your son is a Ben Garusha. We're not going to believe you that you did this b'meisid. Maybe we'll say maybe the b'shogeg, but we're not going to believe you. Or let's say he says my son's a mamzer. We're not going to believe you that your wife really committed adultery. We're not going to make you get divorced from her. We're not going to make your future children mamzerim. Or her future, whatever it is. And therefore, Yakir is enough to say his son's a Ben Garusha, even though it is not enough to hassle him. Let's say that he didn't do it b'meisid. Okay, so we'll come back to that soon. Okay. So what is Eidem Mesim Atzmo Rasha based on? What's the svara? Why do we not believe in self-incrimination in Judaism? Any lawyers here? Anybody studying law? What happens if somebody walks into court and says, I committed murder? In secular law, they'd probably lock him up, right? People turn themselves in. What does that mean, turn themselves in? That's it. You can incriminate yourself. We might be more lenient on you if you self-incriminate. You're going to have to pay for it. We have a principle. Where's there a halachic principle? Anybody can think of this? Is there a halachic principle where we are mako if somebody does it to themselves? Anybody here to learn Baba Kama? Yeah. Avram.
You're modeh b'kanas in your putter.
Beautiful. Modeh b'kanas. Modeh b'kanas is putter. If a ganav comes to Bezdin and says, I am a ganav, he does not have to pay kefil. That's the principle of modeh b'kanas putter. He has to pay the principal. He has to pay Karen. He doesn't have to pay kefil. So there is a concept of self-incrimination, but that's only by dine mamanis. By mamanis, if you come and say, I owe him money, then you have to pay. But otherwise, you cannot self-incriminate. So why not? Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha, why not? So let's look at some of the other Gemaras, which hopefully you saw some of them, that talk about Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. Each one of them is pretty amazing. Each one of them is pretty amazing. Let's look first at the Gemara in Yevamos. The Gemara in Yevamos. What does the Gemara say? Daf Chaf Hey. This Gemara is pretty, again, can't imagine it. What does the Mishnah say? Yevamis Chaf Hey Amar Aleph. Yevamis is a great Masechta. Every Masechta is a great Masechta. I shouldn't say that one is more great than the other. But every Masechta, if you learn it well, sometimes people are scared of certain Masechtas. You have to learn it again and again. The more you learn it, the more we know it. So the Mishnah says in Yevamis, Chaf Hey Amar Aleph, let's say somebody comes into court and says, mace, right? A person says, a man died, right? That's what a lot of Yevamis is about. Mace, person says to a woman, your husband died. Haragtiv, I killed your husband. I killed your husband. All right, there were no Adim. There were no Adim. Haragnu, we killed your husband. Well, Yisas Ashto. This person saying that, this woman cannot get remarried. This woman can get remarried because even one aid is trusted to say that her husband died or was killed. This guy is not allowed to marry her. This guy's not allowed to marry her. I don't know why she would want to, but that's the halacha. Lo Yisa es Ishto. Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Look at Rashi for a second on Yevamis Chaf Hey Amar Aleph. Rashi, why can't he marry her? It looks really bad. Guy comes to court and says, "Yeah, I killed your husband. Let's get married." That's like not something that makes Bezdin look great. You know, it's like Laz. Maybe this guy has no idea what happened to the husband, but he wants to marry her because it says, "Honey, I killed your husband. When are we getting married?" You can't do that. But for anybody else, she can get married. She can get married to somebody else. We trust in Ein Echad. We trust in Ein Echad. So therefore, we trust that the man is dead, but he can't marry him. Says Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda Omer Harag Tevo Tinasei Ishto. Harag no Tinasei Ishto. Rabbi Yehuda says, if he says, "I killed your husband," then he can't marry her. But if he says, "We killed your husband," then he's not allowed to. Because the word says, because we means like he was in the chevra. We didn't actually kill. That's the Gemara. Unbelievable. So says the Gemara, obvious question towards the bottom. He says Ishto. He says Ishto. What does the Mishnah sound like according to the Tanakama? The man says, "I killed your husband." He cannot marry the woman, but anyone else can. Somebody else can. So what is the Gemara saying? A murderer is trusted to say that the husband died. That's what the Mishnah is saying. So I ask the Gemara, how could that be? A murderer is patzalatus. How can it be that we're going to trust the murderer? Yamar of Yosef, Ploni, Rabani Laonsi, Mara, some of you might have learned this in Sanhedrin. Didn't we learn that Rav Yosef says, Ploni, Rabani Laonsi, if someone says that another man raped me, sodomized me, Laonsi, he forced me, he, the victim, another third party, to testify against this abuser. Somebody says, "I was raped," he, the victim, and someone else can take part. Alert Sony, what if he says, "I was a consensual partner"? Rachmana litzlan, alert Sony, Russia. Somebody says, "I willingly did Mishkav Zachar," and with this guy, we don't trust him. The other guy is not Chayav Misa, because this guy's a Russia. A Russia is not Kasha Leidus. So if somebody says, "I was involved in the act willingly," and we throw his Eitis out of court. And if you want to say, well, maybe this is more Meiko. So what do you see for there? What's the Gemara's question? If somebody's a Russia, you can't trust his Eitis. So this guy says, "I killed Ruvain." Why do you trust him? Why could the woman get remarried? And if you want to say that, oh, it's Eidos Isha. Eidos Isha were Meko. No. Rav Menashe says, turning over, that Eidos Isha were Meko by Psulim D'Rabbanan, not by Psulim D'Araisa. If somebody is Pasul D'Araisa, like a murderer, he's not believed to say that someone died. So what's going on here? Name Rav Menashe Damar Rav Yehuda. Is Rav Menashe who says this is only like Rav Yehuda in the Mishnah? Says that you can't get married if it's a murderer? Here's the important line for us. No, everybody agrees to this. Why does the Chachamim say that she can marry someone else because of Rava? Amar Rava, look closely. Adam Karov Eitzel Atzmo, the Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. Literally, a person is a relative to himself, and he cannot make himself into a Rasha. That's the Gemara. And therefore what? We don't believe he killed him. We believe that the husband was killed. But we don't believe that this guy killed him. So therefore, that's why he marry her, because it looks bad. It looks bad that he's going to marry her. But in terms of other people, fine. Here is the first Gemara that we're learning. Anything significant to this Gemara that comes to mind, that catches your eye?
Why don't we see the same thing by the plenty of finding in Sony? Why don't we kill him in that case?
So excellent. So Rava does say that. That's a machlokas. Rava would argue in that case too. Yes, he would say that we could kill the guy because we don't believe Lertoni. Correct. According to the Shita, we would say that in that case too. There's something significant also in this Gemara. I'm not going to mention it yet. What it is, let's do the next Gemara. Well, once we're here, look at Rashi for a second. An important Rashi. Rashi there in Yavamis, Kuf Hem Beis. V'akaim Alon Hodas Piv Me Edom Dami. Rashi notes, what do you mean? Edom Edom Asbarasha. Somebody comes to court and says, I stole 100 here. I owe you money. We believe that. Hodas Baldin. Animili Limamona. Dine Maminis. So that is believed. Aval Knasa Ula Onesh Malkus Uli Pasello. But for fines, punishments, and sul edus, that we don't believe. Maminis is different. We discussed that maybe earlier this year, Hodas Baldin, maybe last year, I don't remember. Hodas Baldin, how exactly that works. Rashi notes that Maminis is different. First context of Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. Often, this is a great example. The term Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha appears in 3 Gemaras, let's say. Is there a difference between how it's presented in the 3 Gemaras? This is one. Let's do the 3 Gemaras and see if you could catch the difference. Let's do the second Gemara now. Gemara in Sanhedrin Daf Tes is the same Gemara as this one. We don't have to do that one. The same exact Gemara. If you look in Sanhedrin Daf Chafei, Yevamis Chafei, Sanhedrin Chafei. This is the sugya of Bar Beinatus. The Bar Beinatus family. Asidu Beitrei Sadi. Bar Beinatus. People testified about Bar Beinatus. Chad Amar. I'm only reading it because we're on Zoom. Feel free, Ki'ilu, one of the Talmidim are reading it. But it's just a little harder that way. But Eli, feel like you're reading it. Feel it. Get into it. Feel it. There's a line in the Gemara, it just made me think of it, that one Amora says to another Amora something, and it sounds like an obvious thing. He says, do you think my father's like stand in the reeds all day and just like hang out? It's like, I see the reeds behind you. So I think of that Gemara. You're learning in the reeds. You're not just, you're not just hanging out in the reeds. Okay. Edom said about him, Chat Omar, Kamedidi Ozit Vervisa. I saw Bar Beinatus lend money with interest, with ribbis. Chad Amar Lididios Ribisa. And one of them said, he lent me interest. Who made him? One of them said, I saw him lend with interest. The other one said, he lent me with interest. So lending with interest is all, of course, it's a daraisa. Asle Rava Barbenitis. Rava says Barbenitis is possible. Right? Because two agents testified that he lent with interest. If you borrow with interest, you're all pasaladis. Ribis is a unique avera. Everybody involved is pasaladis. The lender, the borrower, the agent, the scribe, everybody. Avile Russia. So here, one of them said that Arbenitus lent me with interest. So why is he counted? He's a Russia. Answer: Rava l'taimei. Amar Rava Adam karve sal עצמו ve'ein adam eitz matlo Russia. A person is a relative to himself, and a person can't self-incriminate themselves. Second time. And therefore, we trust this guy that he saw Arbenitus lend with interest. But we don't trust him that it was him. We don't trust him that he was not that we don't trust him that he was the borrower. We don't listen to that part of his statement. We don't listen to that part of his statement. Again, we're not focusing so much on the Palgin and Dibura elements, but it is an important sugya if you want to look at it yourself. So that's the Gemara Yevamis about I killed your husband. That's the Gemara about Ribis. And one more Gemara. One more. Did I put this on the list? I don't remember. Subis. Subis Yurchesem Aves. Subis Yurchesem Aves. Okay. Says the Gemara. We've done this Amud before. This is the Gemara out. There's a star. There's a star with Adam. And Adam say, Sav Yadenu Zed, right? There's a concept of Kiyim Shtaros. When you have a star, you have to verify the signatures. So what if the Adam say, yes, these are our signatures, but. Right? Adam Amru Ksav Yadenu Zed, Aval. Anusim Ayinu, Kitanim Ayinu, Ksuleidas Ayinu. We, for some reason, are postling the star. We were anus. We were forced to sign the star. We were forced to sign the star. Says the Mishnah, Hare Elu Ne'emanim. They are believed. They're believed to say that when they signed the star, they were forced to sign the star. They were forced to sign the star. We're not going to do the second half of the Mishnah for now. Skip to the Gemara. Gemara in the middle says, Eli Yidmar, Reish Yidmar, Hare Elu Ne'emanim. If Adam say, these are our signatures, but we were anusim, we were forced to sign it. We had a gun to our heads. They're believed to say that, and the star is ripped up. Amar Rabbi Bar Chama, Lo Shanu, Elo Shamar Anusim Ayinu Machmas Nefashos. They're believed only if they say it was Pikuach Nefesh. Somebody put a gun to our heads and said, we're going to kill you unless you sign the star. Abal Amar Anusim Ayinu Machmas Mamon. But if they say they were honest Machmas Mamon, meaning if they say we were paid off, we were honest because somebody offered us $1 million to sign the star. If they say that, they're not believed. Why? If they were forced, fine. They didn't do anything wrong. If they say we were honest machmas mamon, ein ne'emanim. My taima, why? Ein adamei samatol Russia. You can't self-incriminate yourself. So they can't say that we were, right? We took the money and we were bribed. Again, this is not a Palgin and Tibura sugya. This is the third case. So they're not believed to say, I killed the husband. Not believed to say I borrowed with ribis. Not believed to say we were forced by the star for the money that was bribed. Somebody tell me, what's different about this last case in the Gemara? Subis Yudches. What's different in the Gemara between Subis Yudches and the other two Gemaras? Vamis and Sanhedrin. Something that sticks out, or rather doesn't stick out from the Gemara. And that already hints to us to a certain approach Russia. Yeah, Naftali.
The Gemara doesn't talk about him being a Karov to himself or why he would be.
Excellent. Excellent. The first two Gemaras has an introductory line before Eid Adam Eisam Atzmo Rasha. First two Gemaras mentioned first Adam Karov Eitzel Atzmo. But I was very excited to notice that the third one does not. Meaning, there are some Farshim that say Ein Adam Eisam Atzmo Rasha is about, what's the problem? Karov. You can't testify against yourself because you are related to yourself. If you look in the Rashi there in Ktubas Yerches, Rashi sticks it in. Rashi on the line, on that line in the Gemara, Ktubas Yerches Mabeis, what does Rashi say? The Karav awaits al Atzmo. The Karav pasal Eidus. Rashi sticks it in. Meaning Rashi is saying, don't think this Gemara is different than the other two. That is one approach to this sugya. One approach to self-incrimination not allowed is because a person is related to themselves. Who says this? It's known as the Sma. That Rashi really says it also. Rashi sticks it in. But Sma is the one that says it. Where's the Sma? The Sma in Siman Lamed Daled. 1 second. Siman Lamed Daled in Shulchan Aruch. Sma is a commentary on Choshen Mishpat. Siman Lamed Daled, Os Nun Tes. Lamed Daled Nun Tes. Shulchan Aruch. That's the Shulchan Aruch. Shulchan Aruch is Siman Lamed Daled Sif Chafei. Ein Adam Nifsal Ba'aveira Al Pi Atzmo. Shulchan Aruch says a person cannot be nifsal le'edus based on his own testimony. Ela al pi edim she'ya'idu alav she'ein adam eisam atzmo rasha. The person cannot self-incriminate themselves. Sma, the Sma, Sefer Me'iras Einayim, on the Choshen Mishpat, right there. Atam, why can't a person passel themselves? Ha'adam u'kar beitzel atzmo. Because the person's a karv to himself. Person's a karv to himself. That's the Sma. And again, it's hinted to in 2 of the 3 Gemaras. It's hinted to in 2 or 3 Gemaras. But the fact that there's a third Gemara, and you can think about why the first 2 are different. Maybe it's a Palestinian Dibura connection, but the fact that there's a third Gemara without it allows us to suggest maybe there's another shot. What's a problem? What needs just to be explained a little bit? If Ein Adam Eisam Atzmo Rasha is based on Karov, what's a little tricky about that? What's not so smooth? What's not so smooth by saying a person cannot self-incriminate themselves because it's based on Karov? It's not, and the Gemara is mashba that. What's not a little smooth? Because if you're Karov, then it's not about incriminating. It's the self problem, not the incriminating problem. Karov should be, you can't testify about yourself about anything. You know, the Mizmat of Russia seems to be you can't say something bad about yourself. If the reason is Karov, it shouldn't make a difference. You can't talk about yourself. That's a little tricky. Again, the Sma says it, and it's mashman that way from the Gemara, but it's a little tzarech iyun. Because Ein Adam Eisam Atzmo Rasha sounds like there's something about saying something bad about yourself. Karov just means you can't say anything about yourself. So we have to work on that maybe a little bit. Something to think about. Again, saying something good about yourself, you know, is are you believed to say? I don't know where it would come up. I gave stucco. Give me an. Think about what type of aid does about saying something good. Halacha is not about prizes, right? Halacha is about just punishments. Bezdin never goes over to somebody and says that was a great davening. You know, here's 100 shekel. You know, there's a great maharal. There's a great maharal. Yeah, I might have mentioned this in the shiur before Rosh Hashanah. Maharal asked the question that many Rishonim ask. and that is, why can't Bezdin operate with Shuva? Meaning, let's say somebody is Chayiv Misa or Chayiv Malchus, and then they do complete Shuva. No, they do Shuva. He fasted 40 days, and now he's the Rosh Yeshiva, and it was a mistake. He was young and insane. The person did full Shuva. And then them come to court, and then they mechayiv him. There's no statute of limitations when it comes to Bezdin. Bezdin would punish the guy. But why? Why can't Bezdin act with tshuva? So there are many answers given to this question. But one of them, says the Maharal, is that Bezdin only works with punishing lo saseis. It's not Bezdin's job to reward aseis. It's not what Bezdin does. I don't remember if he gives the mashal, but I'll give the mashal. You ever been in a car and you see the siren behind you and you hear the siren and all of a sudden you feel like this pit in your stomach? That part probably has happened to all of us. But then the officer pulls you to the side and you roll down the window and you say, could I help you? And the officer takes out his wallet, he gives you $100 or 100 pounds and says, that was a great signal back there. At right turn, here's some money. I don't think it's ever happened to any of us because that's not what police are meant for. Police are meant to protect, from infractions. They're not meant to give rewards. That's Bezdin. That's the Maral. Maral says Bezdin is not about giving out prizes, right? It's about negative. So I don't know if there's any nafkamina in terms of somebody comes to Bezdin and says something good. But in any case, that is the first approach to Ein Adam Meitzim Atzmo Rasha. Karov. The Gemara implies it. The Sma says it beferish. Hatam Shim Adam Karov Eitzalat. But we saw a Rambam earlier in the year that gives a different shot. That's the Rambam. That's the beautiful Rambam in Hilchos Sanhedrin. And the Rambam, what does the Rambam say? Hilchos Sanhedrin. Hold on 1 second. Sorry. Had to take care of something. Okay, so the Rambam in Parak Tezayin gives a different shot for Ein Adam Meitzim Atzmo Rasha. Very different than Karov. And again, maybe the Rambam realized might be another shot based on the fact that it doesn't say it in the third Gemara. Even the other two Gemaras, that might be background. It might not be a reason. What did the Rambam say? You remember in Hilchos Sanhedrin, the end of Parak Yudches. So the Rambam, remember we started earlier in the year. What did the Rambam say? What did the Rambam first say? Zeres HaKasav. Meaning, this is it. Zeres HaKasav. So, number one. Number two, this is the din. Zeres HaKasav. Two Edim. In any cases in Tanakh that says otherwise is not to be learned from. Right? He quotes the story of Yoshua and Achan and David and the Ger Amaleki. Somebody does not remember these stories from Navi, please review them. That was Harasha, Odin Malchus. Sanhedrin, Ein Mamisav Lakin Hamoda Avera. Then the Rambam adds. Shema Nitrafa Daito B'davar Zeh. Maybe this person has lost his mind. Maybe he's depressed. He wants to be tortured. Shema min ha'amelin mari nefesh, ha'machakim lamus, shein tamid token charivos bebitnan. He's a masochist. He wants pain. He wants to die. Somebody comes to Bezdin and says, I was Machal Shabbos, kill me. No. So the Rambam gives that svara. And then he adds, but again, it says at the end, this is Zeres HaKasav. It's interesting. He sandwiches the 2 lines of Zeres HaKasav within the middle, he gives a svara. He gives a svara that maybe people want to die. And then, you remember, we had the Radvaz. The Radvaz on the side of the Rambam right here gives another svara. The Efshar Ksas Lases Tam. One of the most beautiful Radvazes in all of Radvaz. She'ein nafsho shaladam kinyano, ela kinyan hakadosh baruch hu. Your body doesn't belong to you. If two Adam say you violated, okay, Hashem says you need to be punished. Your body doesn't belong to you, and therefore, shenemar hanafashos lihena hilkach lo toal ho da'aso davar she'enu shelo. Your body is not yours. Umalkus al-gadamisu, or even torturing, hurting yourself. Al-vabamono shelo. Money is yours. Money is yours. And that's why Odos Baldin made them dummy. That's why the Rambam says that. But at the end he says, okay, Xeris Akasa. But either way, these ideas are very different than Karov. These are specific reasons why negative is not allowed. Right? That helps with Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. According to the Karov reason, it just say Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo, period. Ein Meir Al Atzmo, if it was Karov. Right? But Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha specifically like this. So these are two or maybe three very different ideas about Ein Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha. Are they any gaminess? Are there any gaminess relating to this? I didn't have you look at, but if you can, on that Gemara in Yevamos, there's an important ritva to see. I didn't give it to you. If you look at the ritva in Yevamos on Daf Chaf A, Amar Aleph, Amez, the ritva there where the ritva asks how Palgina Dibur works with Nimtza Echad Karvo Puzzle. Hey, do some betela. Why? Okay, we're back. Good. So, are there nafkaminas between these approaches? Between how you would look at Adam Mesim Atzmo Rasha? So there are a lot of tshuvas. I gave you some of these tshuvas to look at. They are heart-wrenching. Some of them are heart-wrenching tshuvas. I hope if you even just to read the shilas. If you read the shilah of the Noda B'Yehuda and the Chassam Sofer, if you haven't yet, we might not get to all of it today. But it's all based on how much do you stretch the Tosfos in Bamitzia. Tosfos Bamitzia. What is the Gemara Bamitzia? Hopefully you got to see that. The Gemara Bamitzia discusses the case of could Adam be Mechayev a person a carbon? Could Adam be Mechayev a person a carbon? Right? So it's a Mishnah there, a Mishnah from Krisus, but it's discussed there in Bamitzia Daf Gimel. Mishnah says, two people come along, Amr lo shayim achal t'chelev. People come along and you ate cheleb, which is non-kosher fat, you are chayiv a carbon chatas. And he says, no, I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it. Right? I'm sorry. Just there's somebody that needs an answer to a question. Just one second. Gemara says, Mishnah says, two people say you ate cheleb. One says that, and he said, I didn't eat cheleb. What is the halacha? Machlokas tanoim. Rabbi Meir says you're chayiv. He says, of course, two Adam say you did something. Of course you're chayiv. They say you're chayiv a carbon. So you're chayiv a carbon. Two Adam could kill you. Obviously, they could say you're chayiv a carbon. Chachamim potrin. Some say no, you're pater. That's unbelievable. What do you mean you're pater? Amar Rabbi Meir. Im hebiel l'shnayim l'dei misa chamura lo yebiel l'dei carbon akal. If two Adam kill you, obviously can be make you carbon. Much less, more kal. Amrulo. What did the Chacham say back to Rabbi Meir? Ma yirtza lomar mezid hayisi ipater. Two Adam say yed chelef. You don't need hasra for a carbon. It's not only you don't need, you can't have because the carbon is brought only b'shogeg. So two Adam see this guy yed chelef. So they say you're chayav a carbon. Say the Chachamim, no, he's not. Because you know what the guy could say? You know what the guy can mean when he says, no, I didn't eat it? What he meant to say, I didn't eat it b'shogeg. I ate it b'mezid. And if he ate it b'mezid, it's not chayav a carbon. And he's not contradicting the witnesses. And therefore the Chachamim say, no carbon. The guys could kill him, but if he says, I didn't eat it, reinterpret. What he might mean is that I didn't eat it b'shogeg, I did it b'mezid, and I'm not bringing a carbon. What, is it Grace at Tzaddik that he ate it b'mezid? No. Well, right now we don't want to bring a carbon. We don't have to. If he's amazing, so then we can't bring it. It's not chayav a carbon. That's the machlokas tanaim. Rabbi Meir says he's chayav a carbon. The Chum say no, man, you're tzalom or mezora yisi. You could say mezora yisi, and therefore he's not chayav a carbon. Ask Tosfos the simple kasha. Ask Tosfos, what do you mean, man, you're tzalom or mezora yisi? Ein adam meisam asmo rasha. He can't say mezora yisi. We won't believe him to say mezora yisi. He can't say din avera. The end of Tosfos ma. Im kamar heichnem alomar mezora yisi. Ein adam meisam asmo rasha. Answers Tosfos. Yeish lomar. The ein nem on lipsol atzmo. In the case of edus, he can't say I did something wrong to passel himself for edus. Abal hacha oset tshuva. The eina wrote to lahavi chulun azar. Here it doesn't want to bring a carbon. It doesn't bring chulun to the Beis Hamikdash. He knows he ate a b'mezid. We're going to force him to bring a carbon when he's screaming at us that I didn't hear b'mezid. Not chayav a carbon. Then he's nema. Eina the Meisam Atma Rasha does not apply if when he's doing it because he's doing tshuva. That's Tosfos. Even before we continue and see how Tosfos is used, tell me, according to the svaras we gave for Eina the Meisam Atma Rasha, does this Tosfos fit? Finish my sentence. If you say that the reason Eina the Meisam Atma Rasha is Karov, then
it shouldn't work because he's still
exactly. Then what difference does it make? If the issue is Karov, then he shouldn't be believed about himself. Period. Doesn't matter that he's doing tshuva or not. He shouldn't be believed. Tosfos must be holding like one of the other svaras. We don't believe you if you're, maybe you're one of those people who want to hurt themselves. Here it's not about hurting. He was clearly doing tshuva. He doesn't want to bring a carbon. So again, you didn't have to say it, but it's possible. Possible. Very hard to say Tosfos fitting in with the Karov shot. Karov, you shouldn't be believed at all. Doesn't matter what your gaminess was. This Tosfos is used by many in various contexts. Maybe just to leave you with a question. Again, if you saw the note to be Yehuda already, great. If not, I'll give it to you now. And by the way, for tomorrow, I'll try to send out the Marmakomos tomorrow morning. Hopefully, we'll finish this tomorrow in the middle of Shir and then start the next topic. This is a smaller topic. We're going to discuss Goses. Look at all the Rishonim about Goses. The Lamaisa topic. It's a fascinating topic. Is it possible to be alive and dead and somewhere in the middle? In halacha? We're going to have to talk about that. But before that, the Noda B'Yehuda had the following shaila. There was a chalitza that was done. And then a month later, the man who was involved said, I lied. I'm a lefty. I used the wrong foot. I thought she had a lot more money, from her dead husband. I wanted to split. I thought she was lying. So I wanted to mess her up. Do we trust him that he messed up the chalitza? Or, you might have heard these cases. Chasam Sofer, a woman on her deathbed, says, I was mizaneh, and I feel terrible, and I can't go to the Olam HaEmes with this on my head. And she's mizvadeh. And then she gets better. Is she a sewer to her husband? Whoa. Serious childless. And she says, no, I was making it up. All right, serious childless. What are all these halachas? A shochet on his deathbed and says, I draped up the meat and the knife. I just wanted to make some money, and he gets better. Now, what about all the meat that people have in their freezers from that shochet? So, do we say, Ein adam etzem atzmo rasha? We say like Tosfos, Osa Tshuva, we believe him. How do you apply this Tosfos in real life? This is the question that we're going to deal with, and other related issues. Okay, so we'll stop here, and we will continue again. The next sugya